This tutorial outlines the test proctor experience for the ISBE Illinois Science Assessment. Before the test, a few items must be verified. 1. Look to ensure that the ISA 2017 app is present on each student device. Check that headphones are available and functioning appropriately for each student. Check the volume settings and to ensure that they are turned up on each student device. This can be done the day before testing by having students use their headphones and test the volume prior to testing. As a test proctor, join the Google Hangout so you can communicate with the technology department in the event any issues arise during testing. Identify the location to retrieve the access code test ticket folder from your building administrator the day of the test. And lastly, ensure that an access code sheet is available for each student within your testing group. To begin the test, the ISA app uses the access code to start the test. So at this point, there's nothing that you will need to do to start the test for students. However, during testing, you may need to handle unexpected issues. Let's review some basic things that you can do if an unexpected condition arises, such as if there's a power outage, a technology failure, or a computer crash. The ISA app will automatically lock tests if these conditions occur. Please contact the technology department via the Google Hangout to notify the issue. As a class-wide issue, collect all access code test tickets and place them in the test session folder until testing can resume. When the issue is being corrected, provide the access code test tickets to the students so they can log back into the ISA app and resume testing. However, what if it's an isolated incident and only 1 or 2 students are unable to complete a test? Each student will have the option to save and exit their test. They can log back in with their access code and resume testing at a later time where they left off. However, what if a student receives an error code? Located within each test session folder is an error code reference guide. If a student receives an error code while testing, please use this guide to troubleshoot the issue and attempt to resolve it yourself. If you're unable to resolve this issue, please contact the technology department via the Google Hangout to report the issue. Write down any error codes that appear, as these codes will help identify the problem and expedite resolving the issue. The ISA app will automatically update the status of the test when it is completed and will submit the student responses. There is nothing that you need to do to stop the test session. However, after testing, collect all student access code test tickets. Any student needing a makeup test, write makeup needed on the test ticket. Place all access code test tickets back into the test session folder and place any student access code tickets that need a makeup on the top for easy identification and retrieval. Lastly, return your test session folder to your building administrator. Let's review some additional highlights about the ISA test. Tests will automatically be assigned to students based upon their grade and class information. All students will have access to text-to-speech and the line reader as an accessibility feature. Headphones are required for this test. Small groups should not be used unless identified in an IEP. The tests are approximately 1 hour, but they are not timed. Students must complete this test in one sitting, unless removed for behavior to finish in a new location, or become ill, or may need to leave for the day. This assessment is in English only. All 5th and 8th grade students must take this test, including those new to the U.S. If a student is non-English speaking, a translator will be needed for the student, and the student will complete this test in a one-to-one environment with the translator. The time allocation for this test is identified here. It identifies the number of items, how much time before and after the test to allocate, the estimated time the test will take, as well as the total time that should be allotted for testing. Lastly, let's review the test administration responsibilities. There are 3 separate categories: the technology department, building administrators, and staff and test proctors. The technology department is responsible for printing the test tickets and providing them to the building administrator. They will also manage the test to start, stop, reset, and monitor testing. The technology department will also set up the Google Hangout and invite all test proctors for communication during testing. The building administrators will create the test sessions and the student groups. They will create the test folders, and they will make copies of the user guides and place them into each testing session folder. They will organize the test tickets into the correct testing session folder, and they will organize and schedule translators for students requiring Spanish. Staff and test proctors will be responsible to set up the Chromebooks for testing in their testing environment. They will verify headphones are available during testing, as well as they will communicate issues with the technology department via the Google Hangout. Test proctors will mark makeup needed on any access code test ticket that needs a makeup test scheduled, and they will place all access code test tickets in the test session folder when the test session is complete. They will also pick up and return the test session folder to the building administrator. If you have any questions regarding the administration of the Illinois Science Assessment, please contact your building administrator or the Director of Instructional Technology.